burger. You know, think of a gyro. And what do you think? You think this delicious sandwich made with a pita bread filled with this delicious sliced meat. Well, I'm going to take that whole concept and I'm going to make it into a burger. So what we have in the bowl is 1 pound each ground beef, ground pork, ground lamb. And you can mix and match. You can make it all lamb, you can make it all beef, you can make it all pork, or a combination of the three. That's what we're going with today. And then what we have in this bowl are all the flavors that you're going to find in a gyro. We have some chopped garlic. I have some lemon zest. I have some chopped mint. I have a tablespoon of ground cumin, a tablespoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of ground coriander, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground allspice. And all of these things are going to get mixed up together, and we're going to put them right there in with the meat, and we're going to mix this up. And then what you want to do after you get your meat mixed and formed is you want to let this sit while you fire up your grill and get that to the perfect temperature, because this is going to kind of be like a marinade of sorts. We're going to infuse all of this flavor into the meat, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go mix this, and then I'm going to patty it up, and then I'll bring it back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, everybody, there's our burgers. They're all pattied up, and yes, I have a hole in the middle, and I've discussed previously that we like to do that so that we don't have any shrinkage when they go on the grill, and they don't puff up in the middle. So there they are. They're all ready. The only other thing I'm going to do is I am going to put a sheet of parchment paper over top of the burgers, and I'm going to let them sit until our grill is completely heated up and ready to receive these. Okay, let's build our burger. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put some tzatziki on the bottom, and then I'm going to get the best looking burger just for you and put it right there. And then I'm going to get a little feta cheese, sprinkle it on the top, as much or as little as you like. I mean, feta is pretty strong. So what I would recommend doing is breaking it up into as possibly small pieces as you can. And then we got a little bit of tomato, fresh from the garden. Oh, almost forgot. Onions need to go here, under the tomato, and then the tomato, and then the lettuce. That's a burger. Am I right? Yep. That's a burger. Oh my gosh, it smells so amazing. That is my version of a gyro burger. I hope this inspires you to make a gyro burger of your own. This is inspired by a Tampa Cubano sandwich. But for those of you who don't know what a Cubano sandwich is, we're made with Cuban cassava bread. And that's a very soft bread, but when it's pressed and grilled, it becomes crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. It typically has ham and pulled mojo pork, which was made from pork shoulder, slow cooked, and then it would have Genoa salami, Swiss cheese, mustard, and dill pickles. And it was all pressed together, grilled. So what I've started out with is a couple of 1/3 pound pork burgers. These are made out of ground pork, and I hand formed them. I always poke a hole in the middle because when they cook, that will shrink and the hole will go away.
Yeah, cook evenly.
And it will absolutely cook more evenly this way. I have my brand new carbon steel skillet heating on the stove, and we're going to cook these for lunch today. I'm going to season these up with my Cuban inspired mojo seasoning rub, and I'll go ahead and I'll do that right now. Look, I tasted this and it is incredible. It is just incredible. You're gonna love it. I'll season the other side once I get it in the frying pan. And then when we come back to build the sandwich, we're gonna build it, because I don't have access to Cuban style bread, I'm going to use a ciabatta bun, because to me that would be a good representation. It's soft on the inside. We're not going to press this sandwich. We're just going to eat it like a burger. We're going to top it with some ham, some Genoa salami, and some Swiss cheese. And then we're going to spread on some plain old yellow mustard and top it with some dill pickles. And that's going to give it that flavor of a Cubano sandwich. So I'm going to go ahead and cook up my burgers, and then I'll come back and we'll build our Cubano burger. Okay, our Cubano burger is all done and ready to go. I went ahead and I melted the Swiss cheese directly on it, because this is a burger and not a sandwich, and we're gonna build it like a burger. So I have my ciabatta buns all ready to go. I'm gonna build one on camera for you. So I'm gonna spread some mustard on the bottom. Then I'm gonna put a piece of ham. And I'm gonna share with you what I saw another person explain. Tampa at the time, in turn of the century, 18 to 1900s, was full of, it was a melting pot. You know, immigrants coming and working in the cigar factories, and this sandwich kind of was born of that culture and that community. So many cultures, a real melting pot. So she said that the bread, which was Cuban cassava bread, represented the Cubans. Then they would put down the ham, which represented the Spaniards, which leads me to believe it was probably tasso ham, which is a salty ham, kind of reminiscent of a prosciutto. We're gonna put a burger. This is a pork burger seasoned with our mojo seasoning rub and Swiss cheese. She said that this would have normally been like a pulled mojo pork. That represented the Cubans as well. Genoa salami, which is typically found on a Tampa version of a Cubano sandwich, represented the Italians. The Swiss cheese melted everything together because typically the cheese would have been on the top of this. And then the mustard and the pickles represented the Germans. And I just really loved that whole kind of idea that this burger, our burger, or this sandwich was born out of the necessity to bring a culture or a group of cultures together. And I think that it's just a really rich part of our history, our food history, and our food heritage here in the United States, where we may not actually know these things, but when you learn them, they're kind of mind-blowing, and I love it. But this is our Cubano burger, and I absolutely love it. And I think it's really beautiful. Our Tampa-style Cubano-inspired burger. And the pork burger is perfectly cooked, all built with ham and salami, Swiss cheese, dill pickle, and yellow mustard. I paired this with some plantain chips that we just picked up at the grocery store in the Latin section. These are actually a favorite of Rick's, and they're really delicious, and they go perfectly with this burger. I hope that you give this Tampa-style Cubano-inspired burger a try sometime soon, and I hope you love it. Alright, we're going to be making some green chili burgers today. We have half-pound grass-fed all-beef burgers here, and Rick's going to take these outside and grill them. You make your burgers any way you want. The magic happens in how we prepare the burger. Many of you know I grew up in Arizona. Green chili burger is probably one of my very favorite ways to have a hamburger, and today I'm going to show you how I love to do that. So, Rick's going to take these outside and grill them, and we're going to get busy making a burger. Okay, Rick grilled off these burgers and he melted a nice piece or two of pepper jack cheese on top. Now our burgers were only seasoned with a regular seasoned salt style burger seasoning. We use the Rada burger and fry seasoning, so that's what went on here. You can use your own private blend or whatever you enjoy. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these beautiful roasted green chilies. I'm going to take some of these roasted onions that we used, and I'm gonna take some of this beautiful green chili salsa and put it right there on top. I made this wonderful chipotle mayonnaise, and we're gonna add that to our burger as well. That looks beautiful. We are not going to eat this on camera because it's too messy, and Rick has to hold the camera and he can't eat that with one hand. This is definitely a two-handed burger. I want to thank you for joining me today for this quick and simple suggestion for a green chili burger, one of my favorites. I hope you give it a try.